Salakia. Shalom, Israel. We the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. This is the Saturday Sabbath service. With that, I madium, which means to stand. Laya Sharala. Sar Wapa Lucky. Sar Wapan Yahakwadom, which means turn to face the east. We'll do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawu, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathanawu, Lakum, Call, Yawam, Wasalatinawu, Kawatnawu, Kasalaknawu, Kawatinawu, Wala'a, Tabya'anawu, Banasaiwan, Abo, Hawashanawu, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Watapara, La Awalamium, Amon. In English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power, the glory forever. So be it. This is the prayer for the power of Hakak in Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Baba Kasha, Nathanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah. Call Makala, Wakal Madawa, Kak, La Tahar, Hamatazarium, Hakat, La Hakoyum, Hamatium, Hakat, Awakawa, Hatamala, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem Yahusha, the water month, in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahusha, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits to cast them out. In the name of Yahusha, thank you, so be it. The prayer now. In the name of Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha Arataza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Shalmar, Yasharale, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyunka, Yawam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Ra, Yashamar, Atlapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'ata, Wabu'aka, Ma'ita, Wa'id Awalam, in English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hill, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Right. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, al Damielaka, al Takarat, wa al Tashaqua, al Kayahana, al Yabuka, Yahama Yawan, Wana, Salaki, wa Ma Shanayaka, Sha'awa, Bra'ash, al Amaka, Ya Ariyamu, Tawad, wa Yata Ya Aitzazwa, al Tazapawanyaka, al Marwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magalia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasharala, Iwad, Kaya, Dawa Aitzazwa, Lab, Yakad, al Yuka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Ahalya, Adawum, Wa Yashama'alium, Mawa'aba, Wa Hagarium, Gabal, Wa Amalan, Salaki, Wa Amawan, Wa Amalat, Halashath, Am Yashabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawad, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laha, Salaki, Aisha Laham, Kamadyan, Kasaya Sara'a, Kayabyan, Banakal, Payashwan, Na Shamadwa, Bayan Dara, Ayawa, Daman, La Dama, Kathamwa, Nadiyabma, Salaki, Nadiyabma, Kairab, Wakazaba, Wakazalmana, Kanasaya Kamu, Ashar, Almarwa, Na Yarasha, Lanawa, Nawat, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Raka, Kaash, Tabaria Aro, Waka Lahaba, Talahat, Aryum, Khan, Tavadatma, Lahaba, Talaki, Basa Arka, Wabasa Wapapka, Tabalahum, Mala'a, Panyahum, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Aja'ad, Wayakaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Da'aiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shumka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kaharataza, in English. Keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off. But they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Agarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and the Amalek, and Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, doing to them as unto the Midianites, as unto Sisera, as to Jabin, as the brook of Kison, which perished that endure. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Abad, and as the Amunah, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of the power and possession. O my power, make them like the wheel, as the stubble for the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and be troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. The blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shah, Mayaka Allah, wa Mayaka Allah, wa Alahayim, Matazab Yah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapium, Ha Saranium, Ha Quatazianim, Ha Kayayim, wa Ha Aquatium, Yahweh, Ba Shem Yahshah, the water Aman. In English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, Michael, and the angels, Commander General Yohana, the general, the captains, the officers, and the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all government, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Space Force, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channel, and the radio channel to convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always, so be it. All right, Sar. All right, Yashabi, which means to sit. All right, Shalom, Israel. With the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 145th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. This Saturday Sabbath service. I mean, we're gonna be going into the scriptures, into the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. We're gonna be reading it in the Hebrew, and we're gonna be breaking it down in the English. All right. So before we get started, make sure you got Bible Hub open. You know what I mean? We're gonna be in Genesis 34 in the first chapter. All right. The last night we had the Lashon Kodash class, which is the Hebrew class. Lashon Kodash simply means holy language or holy tongue, holy language. I mean, which is the language that the language of the holy people or the separate people. The Most High separated Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans from all other people. You know what I mean? And the Lashon Kodash, or the holy tongue, is the language that belongs to the people that the Most High separated from all these other nations that we supposed to rule over. All right. The point of the Lashon Kodash class on Friday is to give the point of the Lashon Kodash class on Friday is to give brothers and sisters the breakdown or the you know what I mean, to be able to look at the Lashon Kodash and be able to ask your questions and to be able to see the language before we get to Sabbath service, because during Sabbath service we're going to be reading the language. So before we have to read it, before we have to present it to the nation, you have your opportunity to ask the questions, to get more understanding of the language, to learn the language better. I mean, uh, but we go, if you got Bible Hub, if you got Bible Hub, go ahead, open up to Genesis in the interlinear section. Open up to Genesis chapter 34, verse 1. If you don't have Bible Hub, go ahead and download Bible Hub so that you can have it, because it's gonna be very important for you. You know what I mean? With that, we're gonna get started. We're gonna start off in the Hebrew. All right. Book of Genesis, chapter 34, verse 1 in Hebrew. Why? Like what taza'a daya dayana fa la la'a ashar wala walada laya aikwa lara like lara awa baba no baba nuat ha aratuza. Verse 2. Wayawara ata katam bun kama war ha waya nasha ya au ha rataza waya kwa ata like ata waya shakab waya aina. Verse 3. Wata the ba napa napashwa pada badana ba yaikwa waya ha ha na ir waya the bar I'll love hana ir. Verse 4. Waya a bar should come all come a war but yawa la us like ya more what la ya ha ya la da haza la asha. Verse 5. Waya like you waya ikwa shamai kaya tamai ak dayana bahwa wa waban yawa hayawa ak makwa laki makwa hawa bashada wa rash yaikwa I ba'am. 6. Wayata za'a mawar abaya etum al yaikwa la the bar atwa 7. Wabaya yaikwa ba'awo like a month ashada kasha ma'ain waya I to the for what selected waya I to the war nashim waya or la lahum ma'ad kaya nabala Aisha by or like by Yasharala la la shakab ba Yaiqua wakan la ya Aisha say waya debar mawar to come banya Kwan Napakta Baba Babakam Dan Lakatanda Na As Asa Lawa Wa Asha verse 9 Wahata Ta Nawa As Nawa Wana Yakam Ta Ta Nawa Lanawa Wa As the like it ba Nathayanawa like it ba Bana like it Bana the clock like the clockwork, the clockwork. Verse 10. Well, after the word, like well, after the word, the shall the shall work, well, ha arataza, the ya la pan yapun shall work, what's a car what waha the work. It's like a waha waha ahazdo ba baha. Verse 11. Like English. Genesis chapter 24, verse 1 in the English. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. And his soul clave unto Dinah. Okay. So what you're reading in verse 2 in the book of Genesis, chapter 34, and verse 2, what you're seeing is that this Hamite, this goddamn this heathen, I mean, somebody who's not of the nation of Israel, who's not our brother, who is not our people. They took one of the daughters of Israel, whose name is Jacob, who had his name changed to Israel, I mean, and defiled her. I mean, this is something that happened there that was unlawful. And you're gonna see in a second, right? So verse 3. And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the family. So he did this vile thing. You know what I mean? He took advantage of this sister. You know what I mean? And then his his soul clave unto Dinah. So now he wanted to defile her, and now he got a heart for her. And she kept spake unto his father Hamor, saying, give me this damsel to wife. Like, this is what you like when you see what's like. Let me read on. Verse 5. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob in his feast. Like and Jacob held his peace until they were come. Right. So you see, so this is the same spirit that you see on your oppressor, right? So you know what I mean? They in a kingdom, they got so much power, they got so much authority. You know what I mean? What they are, you talk to a oppressor, and the first thing they want to tell you, especially when they get into an altercation, they get into a little bit of trouble, they get into an accident, a car accident, or they get into an altercation in the grocery store or something like that. They want to be like, oh, you don't know what? Wait until my father hears about this. You know what I mean? That's how your oppressor handles situation. You know what I mean? Because they spoil children. I mean, that's exactly what you hear. That's exactly what you're seeing right here. Like it says, like in verse, and in verse 5, it says that Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they would come. So Jacob heard this and he held his peace. You know what I mean? Because as a father, you know what I mean, you want to handle certain situations. You don't want to handle situations with emotion. You know what I mean? You don't want to be emotional about situations. You don't want to be emotional about how you handle things. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot to lose. So as a father, you know what I mean, you handle things with your first mind and you jump into something, you wanna, you know what I mean, you wanna crash out. And then what are you teaching your kids? You teaching them to be emotional. You know what I mean? You handle things with your first mind and now, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you got a lot to lose. Lot. Verse verse 6. And Hamor, the father succumbed, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. Verse 7. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved that they were very wroth, because they had wrought folly in Israel in line with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. So we already know in our culture that it's unlawful for, you know what I mean, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to deal with these other nations in that way, to make marriages with them. Like it says plainly in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, it says, for us to not make marriages with them, neither give our sons to their daughters. So it's unlawful for our daughters, for us to give our daughters to their sons, and it's unlawful for us to take their you know what I mean, their daughters to our sons, make marriage with them. So, you know what I mean, that's the whole reason why the Most High flooded the earth, as we read in Genesis in earlier chapters. So this is already a part of our culture. So I mean, when the brothers of Jacob, or this Slacky, the sons of Israel, the sons of Jacob, you know what I mean, when they heard of this thing, they were highly offended because this is against our culture, right? Which is, you know what I mean, which this is why, you know what I mean, this is why you see you know what I mean, this is why the ISUPK, we get so offended. You know what I mean? We get so angry when we see our brothers, you know what I mean, or our sisters walking up the street with, you know what I mean, our oppressor. You know what I mean? We see our sisters like Serena Williams. We see them, they get all this valor and all this glory where their father, Serena and Venus Williams, they father worked so hard, you know what I mean, to you know what I mean, to give them gifts and abilities, and then in opposition to our oppressor, and then what do? They grow up and become adults to where they can make their own decisions, and then they go and get an oppressor. You know what I mean? That's why we get so offended in the ISUPK when our brothers, you know what I mean, like Kobe Bryant, you know what I mean, you see like Tiger Woods, when our brothers, we get notoriety and we get valor, we get riches, and the first thing we want to do is go get ourselves an oppressor. You know what I mean? The same nation of people that was beating our backs in and destroying us and you know what I mean, doing all these diabolical things to keep us in captivity. And then the same person, the same people, the same nation of people that had to force themselves on us, you know what I mean, during our captivity, now we willingly go and make marriages with them. And because it was in our law. I mean, it's in our law. It's in our spirit to reject these people because the Most High never wanted us to make marriages with these people. That's why the Most High flooded. Uh, that's why the Most High flooded the earth in the times of Noah, and I mean that's why we end up under these nations because we want to make marriages with them. We want to be up under them, but it's in our law. You know what I mean? That's why. You know what I mean? Because it's in our law, right? Verse like in verse 8, and the more commute with them, saying, the soul of my son should come longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife. You know what I mean, so now he done defiled the sister, and now he wanna now you wanna go through the route and the channels that you should have went through in the first place. You know what I mean? He'll probably got the same response because again, like I said before, it's not in our culture to go and we make marriages and it's not in our culture to join with these other nations. But you know what I mean? If you want a sister, if any brother want a sister, you know what I mean, it will be wise if you don't want to hold in your chest size of a baseball. You know what I mean? It'd be wise for you to just go to that brother's father or to that sister's father, go to that brother and ask, you know what I mean? I'm interested in this sister and I want to, you know what I mean? I want to court her. I want to get to know her and all of that. Go through the proper channel. You know what I mean? But that's not what he did. I mean, he went and defiled the sister, and then after he defiled the sister, he was like, you know what, this sister, all right. And then he went to his father like a spoiled brat. He was like, hey, I want to marry this sister. Make it right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He knew that what he did was wrong, and now he want his father. He want his father to make everything okay, to smooth everything over, just like an oppressor. You know what I mean? Your oppressor. You know what I mean? They'll defile a nation of people. They'll do all sorts of wrong, and then they'll go to their father. You know what I mean? They'll like you know what I mean? You see, I forget what the woman's name was, but you know what I mean? She pretended to be a black woman to get her children into a college. I mean, things like that happen all the time. Or somebody you know what I mean, an athlete of another nation, particularly our oppressor, you know what I mean, they'll go into they'll you know what I mean, they'll get into all sorts of trouble where they'll get suspended, you know what I mean, or they'll get into some trouble, they'll get into some legal trouble, and then they'll go to their father and try to smooth it over. You know what I mean, so that even though they was you know what I mean, we're black people, we get into trouble in college and then we get kicked off the campus, we get suspended, we get ostracized, we get our scholarships taken away, we get our funding taken away, and all those different things. But then you see the same thing happen with your oppressor and their children, and then they just go to their father to talk to the dean and all of that, and then everything gets smoothed over. I mean, so they can continue to graduate with their degree like nothing happened. You know what I mean? That's what you're seeing. You know what I mean? When you see your actual slavery, you know what I mean? You see the CEOs, you see the supervisors and all of that. You know what I mean? That's how they got to where they think. That's how they got where they at. You know what I mean? Things like that. But we don't get that type of mercy. But this is exactly what you're seeing right here. You know what I mean, this what is heathen, you know what I mean? He didn't defile one of the children of Israel, one of the daughters of Israel, and then now he going to his father to like make things right. I mean, it sounds just like an oppressor, don't it? I mean, if you don't agree, I mean, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. If you don't think if this is not something that you recognize, you know what I mean? This ain't something that you recognize in your oppressor's community. You know what I mean? Go ahead and say so in the chat. But if you agree and you see what's going on and you this is something that you full well familiar with, you know what I mean? Put a one in the chat. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Holla at me. Lock you. Verse 10. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you, dwell and trade ye therein, get you possessions therein. Like in verse 9, I think I skipped the verse. Like verse 9, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take your daughters unto you, and ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you, and dwell dwell and trade ye therein, get you possessions therein. Verse 11. And Shem said unto her father and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me, I will give. I mean, this is exactly what your oppressor will try to do. I mean, the Most High, the Most High already said that this land belonged to the forefathers of Abraham, or it's like the Most High already said that the land already belonged to the forefathers of Jacob. I mean, Abraham, Isaac. I mean, and soon to be Jacob. Most High already said that this land belonged to them. I mean, but your oppressor, they gonna defile you. They gonna do something vile to you, and then to your nation of people, and then try to strike a deal with you. And then what happens after that? You know what I mean? Anybody in the chat, I'm not gonna say it on live, but anybody in the chat, what happens after your oppressor strikes a deal with you? You know what I mean? Right after they strike a deal with you, and they say, "Oh, believe me, trust me." You know what I mean, we're gonna do this, that, and the third, and then everything gonna be all right. If you do this, we gonna do this, and everything gonna be all right. What happens right after that? Anybody in the chat can tell me. And forgive me, my allergies. Forgive me if I'm tough to hear or understand. All right, with that, I'm gonna give y'all a second to answer. In the meantime, we're gonna go back to the Hebrew. All right. So the question is, what happens after your oppressor makes a deal with you? I mean, they make a deal with you and they say, "Okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this if you do it, and I'm gonna do this if you do this, and we gonna be together. We gonna sing Kumbaya if you do this." All right. What happens right after that? You know what I mean? Not hard. You know what I mean? If you a black man, if you got two eyes in your head and you just see the world for what it is. You know what I mean? You black, Hispanic, and Native American man or woman, and you can see, you'll be able to answer this question. All right. The book of Genesis, chapter 34, and verse 11 in the Hebrew. Waya Amar to come off Abaya Ha Wa Wa Akya Ha Amataga Come Wa Ya Wa'ayan Yapum wa shore moral yeah uh thumb. Verse 12. Arabwa Alya ma ma'ad mahar wa wa ma thun wa thunna like it wa athana uh ashar marwa aliyah wa thun thunwa la ya ha ha na'ar la sha. Like, yeah, I just wanted to point it also, na'ar. Uh, I mean, this also, this is a heavy point. This is a heavy story right here because, this is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is an African nation. This is what you would call the so-called, the Africans, the descendant of the Hamites. One of the three brothers that, survived the flood, one of the three sons of Noah. Uh, the word Na'ir refers to young men and young women. So Naira, so like a Naira, to say it plainly, Naira refers to young men and young women. Now the name for I believe Nigerian currency is Naira. You know what I mean? The Hebrew word for young men and young women is Naira. And the same people who call their currency Naira, which is the same word for young men and young women, they're the same nation that sold our young men and young women and used us as currency. You know what I mean? with our with the chief oppressor, which is the so-called white man. So I just wanted to point that out. The same thing that we call our young men, they call us currency. I mean, we've always been currency to our to these other nations. I mean, so whenever you decide to think that you're an African man or you of another nation, I mean, remember they called us currency. It is right here in our in our language. You know what I mean? We're reading it right now. They call us they call us Naira. I mean, Naira is just, you know what I mean? It's just what the word that we use for our young women or young men and young women. They use us as currency. They sell us. I mean, like the scripture saying Deuteronomy 28. Moving on, book of Genesis chapter 34 verse 13 in the Hebrew. Waya, waya, I the one. Well, yeah, Yaquab at Shakum, Wa'at, Mawar, Abu Yawa, Ba, Ba, Mana, like Ba, Rama, Waya, the Marvel, Ashar, Tada, like Daya, Dayana, Ah, Hatam, 34:14. Waya, Marvel, Allah, Aliyahum, Allah, like La'a, now, call, La Aish, Wa, Ha, Debar, Lucky, Ha, Debar, Azah, La, La, Fa, Ak, Akat, Debar, La, La, Ya, Ashar, La, Wa, I, Arila, Kaya, La, Hara, Harapa, Hawa, La, Nawa, La, Ti, Aka, Ba, The, the what, Lakom, um, your what, come, come to what, the hut, like, la, ha, la, hamal, Lakom, call, the car. And also, I wanted to point out as well, the word Zakar in this verse was used as male, but it also means remember, which shows like it says in Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. It says that we established our pedigrees, or we called out or stated our pedigrees by our father. You know what I mean? That's how you remember who you are as a nation. You know what I mean? By your father. You know what I mean? By the males. The males is who establishes your nation, what nation you come from, so that you can remember. So those two words mean one and the same. Like verse 16. Why the thunder will I ban mana lakum I like it wa I bana yapum the fa la the wa waya the waya sham the wa apkum waha ya the wa la ein afad 17 wa la a tash tashamai wa Alaya wa la ha ma wa wala kwa wa a wa fa wa ha la wa ha la verse 18. Waya ya tabu to bore your home fa I young you ma wa I young you come like bond the war, right? We'll go back to the English. Book of Genesis, chapter 34, and verse 11, or slightly, verse 12 in English. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as you shall say unto me, or give me the damsel to what? So we really trying to smooth things up. We like, don't even ask you for a dowry. Don't forget about the dowry. I'll give you whatever you want. You know what I mean? The dowry ain't enough because you done already defiled. I mean, you done already defiled this. Now, this oppressor, this disgusting heathen, this disgusting Hamite, never relate ourselves to. They want to try to smooth things over. They want to try to make things right and throw themselves. So, I mean, you look back in the back then, you know what I mean? They was desperate to try to join themselves. But then, you know what I mean? You look now, you know what I mean? They come over here after coming over, they disgusting country where they eating piss and doodle sandwiches and all of that and drinking piss and bathing in piss and, you know what I mean? They doing all sorts of disgusting things. They're disgusting people. I mean, they come over here and then they come over here and have the nerve to call you a byword, you know what I mean? Naira, or it's like not Naira, a kata. They got the nerve to call you a byword. You know what I mean? But back in these times, you know what I mean, they was desperate to join themselves to us, but because they knew who we was. And it's gonna come a time where they gonna know and understand who we are to again. You know what I mean? Where I mean, they want to try to defile you. They want to try to you know what I mean, talk down on you. But you know what I mean, it's gonna be a time where they know exactly who you are, black male, Hispanic, and Dominican American, that you are the chosen people of the Most High God. They gonna be humble. They gonna be desperate to join themselves to you again. You know what I mean, like it says in like it says in yeah, what it is, uh, Isaiah the 14th chapter. I mean, they say they gonna cleave to the Israel, the nation of Israel. These other nations gonna cleave to us. You know what I mean, where they gonna realize who we are, and they gonna be desperate to join themselves to us, just like you see here. They gonna be desperate to join themselves to us. Verse 16, verse uh, verse 13. And the sons of Jacob answered to come, and Hamor, his father, deceitfully said, because he had defiled Dinah, their sister. 14. They had said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were opposed unto us. But in this will we present unto you, if ye will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. 16. Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughter to us, and we will dwell with you. We will become one people. And what you seeing right here, is so these brothers, you know what I mean? These brothers did it, they just seen what had happened to their sister. They just seen how this nation dealt with their sister. You know what I mean? Uh and it said that they spoke to them deceitfully. They know damn well that they not gonna give it's not for us to, you know what I mean, like I said before, it's already written in our culture that we don't join with these other nations. We don't join with their culture. I mean, we don't follow their customs and we don't give our daughters to them and we don't take their daughters unto our sons. I mean, but they said, You know what I mean? We'll consent. We know what I mean? We'll do that as long as y'all make yourselves like us because we were circumcised. You know what I mean? It's our custom. It's in our culture to be circumcised. You know what I mean? All the way from Abraham. You know what I mean? From the customs of Abraham. So he was like, all right, no sweat. Yeah, as long as y'all get circumcised, then we can make a deal. But he spoke deceitfully. And we gonna see what happens. Verse 17. But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then we take our daughter and we will be gone. And their word please him more and should come and bear for more son. All right. So they're like, all right, bet. I mean, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and we're gonna circumcise everybody. All right, so let's go back to the Hebrew book of Hebrew, chapter the book of Genesis, chapter 34, verse 19. Wala a hard, the iron, what that word, the iron thing, and young man, the iron, the ira, uh, la I, ha, the bar, the ya, pataza, pa, pa, gaikwa, wa, hawa, the, ba, ba, like, call, ba, ya, aba, yawa, ya, ba, war, wa, shakam, on wa, all, the iron, I, room, wa, ya, the barber, all, wa, ya, the barber, all, uh, like, yeah, yeah, I, room, la, more, verse 21, anashim, ha, Allah, shalom, shalom, yom, oh, after your work, Salakia, Wayash, Wayashabwa, Ba Aratan, Waya Harwa, Ata, Wa Ha Arataza, Ana, Wa Ba Ya La Yagil, Love, Love for your home, Ah, Bud at home, the Walk, La the Wa, La the Yom, Wa Ah, Ba Not Yet the Wa, Not the Sun, La Home, La Aka, Ba the Ah, Ya, Ya Asa, La the Wa, Ah, the like Adashi, La the Ba, after the Wa, La Han, Ya Wa, La Ein, Ah, Five, Ha, the Laki, Baha, like Baha, the War, La the Wa, Paul, the Part, Oh, the the Ball Yo, Aqua, the Yendo, Wa, Paul, Baha, Lakum, Ha, Lo, Wa, Ya, Laki, Aka, Nawaka, Lahum, Waya Shabu, after the war, verse 24, Waya Shemaiwa, all from the war for all to come, all, Ya to the hour, Sha'ar, Ayar, Ayarwa, Waya, Waya Mawa, Call, the car, Call, Ya to the, Ya to the hour, Sha'ar, Ayarwa, Laki, verse 25, Waya Haya, Vaya Wolf, Shall, Shalashi, Elayashia, Baha, Yo, Yo, uh, Laki, Ka'ab, Ka'abu, Waya, Kwakwa, Shanya, Konya, Yaikwa, Shemaiwa, Wa, Lawya, Akya, Jayuna, Ayash, Arab, Arabwa, Waya, Fa'awa, Al, Ayar, Batach, Waya, Waya, Harakwa, All, the car. Book of Genesis, chapter 34, and verse, la- verse 19. And the young men deferred not to do the thing because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the houses. Deferred not to do the thing because he had delight in Jacob's daughter. He was more honorable in all the houses of the father of his father. So these young men, you know what I mean, they told him, go ahead and get circumcised. I mean, they did that thing. They go ahead and, you know what I mean, these was adult males. These was adult males, so they went and got circumcised as adult males. I mean, and if you know anything about you know anything about circumcision, you know that I mean, it take a little bit of time to heal from that. So these young men was down. I mean, all the males, all the men of this nation of people was down for a little bit. You know what I mean, after they did this thing, all for the sake of this disgusting heathen to be able to marry one of the daughters of Israel after they was defiled. That's important to remember. Uh, lot- 20. And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came unto the gate of their city and communed with the men of the city, saying, 21, these men are peaceable with us. Therefore, let them dwell in the land and trade therein. For the land, behold, it is larger than for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. 22, only herein will the men consent to us for to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised. 23. Shut out their cattle and their substance, and every beast of theirs be ours. Only let us to sit unto them, and they will dwell with us. And that's heavy right there too, because this sounds very familiar. You know what I mean? This is the same thing that Christopher Columbus said to you know what I mean, regarding our people. You know what I mean? Christopher Columbus came over with a Hebrew scholar so that he can understand our another, how we dealt with saying we are a peaceable people. They said they will make perfect slaves. You know what I mean? They, that's the whole point of them doing what they're doing right now is for them to join to us, to make it seem like they want to be just like us, just to take what's ours. You see it right here. I'm not making it up, and I'm not embellishing anything. It's right here in our face. Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. I mean, all they got to do is just bend to our will a little bit. Like, all right, you want us to do this? All right. All they got to do is just dance a little bit. All they got to do is conform to our culture a little bit. All they got to do is put on a do rag. All they got to do is I mean, have Meg the Stallion twerk on stage. I mean, to try to get your vote. That's exactly how your oppressor tries to get your favor. They'll try to consent to your culture or what they think is your culture. They'll try to concede to your culture a little bit, and then once they got your trust, then they take everything that's yours. I mean, that's an age-old trick that they've been using. You see it right here, the same age-old trick, the same trick that they using today, you know what I mean, to get your favor and to get your attention, to get your love and to get your vote and to get your, you know what I mean, to get you to join them and integrate with them is the same trick that they've been using for years. And you see it right here, verse 24. And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city. Every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. 25. And it came to pass on the third day when they were sore, right? That two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brother, took each man his sword and came upon the city boldly and slew all the males. So while they were sore, while they after they got circumcised and they tried to conform themselves to our culture, I mean, Jacob is or Simeon and Levi, you know what I mean, they slew these people because they didn't forget what happened to their sister. They didn't forget how this heathen that defiled their sister, and now he's going to try to join himself to to our culture. You want to try to make a deal. You know what I mean, just like we got this devil want to defile you and then try to strike a deal. I mean, you could read that same story, the same story that we're reading right now. How your oppressor, how this heathen nation wanted to defile one of the daughters of Israel and then try to smooth things over and try to strike a deal. You see that in the book of Maccabees, the first chapter, where they came to slew us. You know what I mean? They came to slew us, and then the elders of their nation came and talked to our people and be like, hey, I know that was terrible, you know what I mean, what happened, but I mean, you know what I mean, 2 years after they had destroyed us and slew us, you know what I mean, they came back and was like, all right, let's do this. Let's strike a deal to where we'll never do you like this again. And, you know, we can join ourselves to one another. And then as soon as the elders of our community, you know what I mean, the TD Jakes, the Creflo Dollars, the Tyler Perrys and all of that, the what's that disgusting bastard name that play the piano naked? You know what I mean? What the hell is his name? I can't remember, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Uh, but you know what I mean? Those elders, they was like, all right, yeah, bet. You know what I mean? Let's join ourselves to y'all. And then they destroyed us again. You know what I mean? 2 years later, it was 2 years after they already destroyed us. You know what I mean? They destroyed us again. They took our lives again. They slaughtered us again. And then, you know what I mean, right after that, some years after, they came to us with the same game plan. They rinse and repeat. With this I'ma sign a treaty with you and break it, they rinse and repeat that. You know why? Because we gullible, because we don't have our culture. We don't concede to our culture. We don't consent to our culture. We don't follow after our culture. You know what I mean? We don't keep our culture. So they can, when the Bible says for us to never make marriages with them, never make deals or treaties with them, you know what I mean? They come and make treaties with us and we go ahead and say, oh yeah, let's go for it. Because we don't know our culture. And that's why we're able to get destroyed over and over and over again. That's why they're able to rinse and repeat this same plan, because we don't have our culture. But if only we had our culture, if only we had this Bible,
and these laws, statutes, and commandments to tell us, you know what I mean, never trust your enemy. Like it says in the Apocrypha, like it says in Ecclesiastes chapter, I believe the 12th chapter. Never trust your enemy. You know what I mean? If we only knew that, then we would be able to dodge a lot of hell that we go through. You know what I mean? We will, you know what I mean? Because we catching hell as a nation of people under this oppressor. But we could dodge a lot of that hell that we catching from our oppressor if only we didn't trust them. If only we could see how they killing our people, how they unaliving us, how they, you know what I mean, their police forces killing us, how their military is destroying us. You know what I mean? We join their military, we join their police force, we join their workforce, and they destroy us. You know what I mean? We try to make marriages with them, and they destroy us. You know what I mean? We try to make friends with them, like what happened to that sister that went to that pool party. You know what I mean? With all those white women, she ended up face down. You know what I mean? She ended up belly up in the pool, and all the white women was like, I don't know what the hell happened. You know what I mean? They rinse and repeat this process. It's only we knew that we should never trust our enemy, and we wouldn't end up in all these situations that I just named. You know what I mean? That's why it's so important for us to get back to our culture. That's why we do the Sabbath service. You know what I mean? So we read these scriptures in the Hebrew, and then we read them in the English so we can get the spirit of it. And we could read it, we could comb through it because your Christian pastor don't read the Bible to you. You know what I mean? The Bible is the most popular book. It's the book that every person in the Christian, or it's like it in America has, but it's not the most read book. You know what I mean? It's the most owned. It's the number one owned book, but it's not the number one read book. I mean, that's the problem. But in the ISUPK under Commander General Yana, we read this book, and that's what we're doing tonight. It's like it today in this Sabbath service. We gonna read it not only in the English, but we gonna read it in the Hebrew as well. So, like I said before, you know what I mean. You can see these Hebrew words and how they relate to the English and how they relate to our culture today. You know what I mean. You can see that the name for Naira in the Hebrew is young man in Hebrew, young woman in Hebrew, but it's the name for African currency. So that you can see that these people sold us. You can see that Zakar is the word for remember, but it's also the word for males, which is how any nation remembers who they are, the people, through the lineage of the male. You know what I mean? Not to say that the women are not important, but it's to say that you you pass down your bloodline and you pass down your lineage through the male. You know what I mean? But that's why we do these things. We read it in the Hebrew and we read it in the English, so you get a full 360 scope of what this Bible is talking about. All right. All right. I believe we going into go to the Hebrew. Yeah, Genesis chapter 34, verse 26. The lock again. Oh, my allergies is killing me right now. Genesis chapter 34, 26 in the Hebrew. Wa'ah, Amawar, Wa'ah, Tatum, Wa'yah, Hara, Haragwa, La, Ayah, La, Waya Fakwa A Dayana Ma Baya Waya Tela Awa Shalom, young man Jermaine. I mean, good to see you, brother. Looking forward to next time we see you in person. Look at Genesis chapter 34 and 27. About to that. So I might have to transition to forgive me 1 second. 34, 27. All right. While I'm at it, let me go ahead and share the screen. Uh, lock. you ain't got a Bible Hub at home, uh, you know what I mean, you should absolutely download Bible Hub. Absolutely download Bible Hub at home. You know what I mean, on your phone or you know what I mean, as you can see, I'm on the laptop and I got Bible Hub open right now. You know what I mean? So you can easily get Bible Hub, you know what I mean, accessible to you so that you can get familiar with this language because it's gonna be important. This is your language. So as I'm reading it in the Hebrew, you can follow along. And if you don't, if there's anything that you don't understand, then you can follow along as well. And any of the things that I'm breaking down, that you can learn as well. You know what I mean, like the things that I went into just a second ago, you can you can see it live. You know what I mean? Just again, like your Christian pastor ain't gonna teach you the truth according to the Bible. They're not gonna teach you the specifics. You know what I mean? They're gonna go into the Bible and break it down for you and show you as they're teaching you. But you know what I mean? I got it on the screen, so not only am I gonna teach you, but I'm gonna show you what this Bible is talking about and what this language is talking about. Right. And that comes from the training in ISUPK, the home of the truth. Started at 1 West 125th Hall in New York, under Commander General Yohana, the one and only home of the truth. You don't have that pedigree, then you're not the truth. You're not under Commander General Yohana, then you're not. It's like it. Let me go ahead and read it. So, but yeah, Yaikwa, Ba'awo, Ao, Ha, La, Ha, Ha, La, Yo, Ha, Ha, like a Ha, Ha, Law, Yo, Waya, Waya, Boswo, Waya, Boswo, Ha, Ha, Yar, Ashar, Ha, Ha, Ma'awo, Aka, like a Aqua, Aquasi, Aquaso, like one second.
like verse 28. I has a I has a un like it has a unknown. While I or like it or room while I have a ward your home while I ashore while I like by your while I ashore but the death love for what verse 29. While I call by lump while I call a pump while I your home your war while but while your buzz was while I call ashore but like the Baba Ya. I call well yeah our son but like la but yeah 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 but yeah the but the I the wa ba our the yeah wa money yeah wa ma yeah was my support was like wanna stop your audio while yeah yeah wanna like wanna uh was yeah but yeah was yeah was yeah like wow but yeah yeah 31 was yeah a more uh cause was why uh what aqua the what verse 1 for Genesis chapter 35 verse 1 waya more Allah ayu all yaikwa the womb Allah waya all wa da shum wa I da shum was the ba la Allah and Ra like here Ra Allah Yakub all Yakub ba ra ba ra like it ba ra ba ra uh ma ma for yeah I can walk Yakub or two or yeah more Yakub all but Yakub were all called ashore. I'm the power uh al alahaya on a car ashore by Wasatu, Waha, like Waha, the hard, or Waha, like, yeah, like, Waha, like, Yahweh, the Malaki, or three. One up for one, like it one up on one. When I la, Bayah, but like it Bayah Allah, wa Aisha, Shom, Mazaba, La, Allah, Aida, Ah, like it, Akia, Bayo, Taza, Rakia, Waya, Aya, I, Bakia, Ba, like it, by the rock, ashore, the halak, halakafia, halak, slaka, halakfia, that passed it when we go to yesterday. Like, yeah, why, why, the war, why, thunder, oh, yaikwa, call, alahaya, the hor, ashore, by, don't, wa, ha, like, no, ashore, yahoo. Waya like Waya Amun Thom Yaikwa the Ha Allah Kashar Ain Shakum 5 Lucky Waya uh the Iowa Waya Aya uh Ha Alahayim Al Ha Ayorim Ashar Saba Yav Ba Yaho Wala Rad Wa Lucky Rad Rada Power Wa Lucky Aharya Banya Yaikor Sik Waya Ba Yaikor the Waza Ashar Barakuza Nanai Hawa'a Bayas Ba'a Hawa'a Bukal I'm Ashore, I'm what? 7. Waya, Waya Bunch, Muslim, Muslim Bot, Waya Fora'ah, La Fora'ah, All, Waya Ba'ah, Laki, Waya, Allah, Waya, Go, the Gawa, Al Yawa, Al Ha, Al Ayum, Baba Ra, Baba Rakwa, Ma, Ya, Ah, Akiyawa, Wafa, Laki, Wafa, the Bara, Maya, the Rada, like you, Rabba, Wafa, for Lord, Ma, Mata, Lava, Ya, Baal, La, Fakat, All your work, like your all, all one, all one, where you for some work, all you one, for what? Verse 9, وَيَرَآ Alahim, Al Yaquab, I Wat, Baba, Baba Awa, Ma, Mafanun, Aram, Ba, Waya Barak, uh, Aqua, verse 10, Waya, Alfar, Wa, Alahim, Iska, Yaquab, La'a, Ya, Baraa, Iska, I, I was, Yaquab, Kaya, Yasharala, Yahaya, like Yahaya, Sutta, Waya, Mora'a, Tanzua, Yasharala. Verse 11, Waya, Abar, Lawa, Alahayim, Lanya, Al, Ya, Para, Wara, like the Waraba, Go, like the Go, Ya, Wa, All, Go, Yum, Wa, Haya, Ha, Mokuta, Wa, Mawalak, Paul, Masalat, Ivan, Yitzhak, Wa, to the hour. That's the first one. Wa'ah, Rataza, Ashur, the Safiya, the Abaraham, Wa, Allah, Laki, Leah, La Yatazat, Laka, uh, Asan, La Zoraka, Akar, Yuka, Fun, Rakaza. Alahayim, Won, Ashar, Before, Aqua, like the Aqua, Wayatza, Yaikwa, Ma to the for Won, Ashar, Before, Aqua, Ma to the Avon, Wayatza, I Liyah, the Wayatza, Wayatza, Aliyah, Shabbat, 15. Waya for Yaikwa, Shom, Ha, Makorom, Ashar, Debar, Afwa, Shom, Alahayim, Vaya, Allah. 16. Waya Iowa, Vaya, Baal, Laki, Vaya, Allah, Waya, Haya, Iwad, Kabara, Ratazan, La Bawa'a, Aporasa, Wa Watalat, Rakal, Wata Quash, Baladasa, 17. Waya Haya, Ba Qua Dasa, Baladasa, Wa Ta Abor, La Ha, like the Alpha, Yo, Lada, All, Yo, All, Yo, Yo, Don't, La, Laka, Bud, verse 18. Waya Haya, Bataza Ah, Ja, Pata, Kaya, Wata, Wa, Sub, over Ah, Ja, Jibwa, Bond, Latia, Awudia, Wa, Abba, Yawa, over Ah, Lawa, uh, Fine, Fine Yum. So the book of Genesis, Salakia, the book of Genesis, chapter 20, Salakia, not chapter 20, chapter 30. Oh, nice. Take it back, get caught back up. Book of Genesis, chapter 34, in verse
verse 24. I believe that's when we left off. And unto Hamor, unto the Shechem, his son, hearken all that went out of the gate of the city, and men were circumcised, and that went out the gate. I will put that. Like in verse 26. And they slew Hamor and Shechem, and the son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out. 27. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city because they had defiled their sister. They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses, and that which was in the city and that which was in the field. 29. And all their wealth and all their little ones and their wives took they captives and spoiled even all that was in the house. 30. And Jacob said unto Simeon and Levi, Ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. And so, I mean, Jacob, like we saw, I mean, I ain't gonna spend too much time on it just for the sake of time, but I mean, Jacob saw the same thing that his son saw. You know what I mean? They saw what happened with Dinah. They saw, you know what I mean, they saw what he saw what Shechem and done. You know what I mean? But he wanted to deal with it like a, you know what I mean, in a different way. You know what I mean? But him and the Levi, they wanted to do their own thing. I mean, which is, you know what I mean, which if anybody defile your family, you know what I mean, you know how we are. You know what I mean? We're gonna wanna, you know what I mean, we're gonna wanna get our lick back. You know what I mean? We're gonna wanna do something. We're gonna wanna defend our people. But I mean, as the father, as the head of the nation, you know what I mean, he was gonna handle it another way. But I mean, Jacob, or it's like like Simeon and Levi, they wanted to do their own thing. You know what I mean? Which is we're gonna read later in the chapter, or it's like in the book of Genesis, where that's why you see Simeon and Levi, you know what I mean, they divided today. You know what I mean? Well, that's a curse from the Most High, where because of what they did uh against the will of Jacob, because they defied Jacob, that they will be separated. That's why even though the Simeonites and Levites, which are the so-called Haitians and the Dominicans today, even though they share an island, you know what I mean, they constantly fighting with one another. They can't come together. Because that's a curse from the Most High, right? But we're gonna get to that in you know, in later chapter, verse 31. And they said, should he deal with our sister as with a harlot? Chapter 35. And God said unto Jacob, Arise, go up to Bethel and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God that appeared unto me when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. 2. And then Jacob said unto his household and to all that were with him, Put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments. Let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God. For unto me the day of my distress that was with me in the way which I went. They gave Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hands, and all their earrings which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. And they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were round about them, and they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob. So Jacob came to Luz, which is in the land of Canaan, that is Bethel, and all the people that were with him. And he built there an altar and called the place El Bethel, because their God appeared unto him when he fled from the face of his brother. But Deborah, Rebekah's dirt died, and she was buried beneath Bethel under a note, and the name of it was called Alon But and God appeared unto Jacob again when he came out of Padanaram and blessed him. And God said unto him, Thy name is Jacob, thy name shall be not called any more Jacob, but Israel shall thy name be, like thy name. And he called his name Israel. And God said unto him, I am God Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. Nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. 12. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee I will give it, to thy seed after thee will I give the land. So real quick, this is something that your Christian pastors like to breeze over. You know what I mean? They like to highlight Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They like to highlight, or they come from anything they say in the name of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they wanna claim that they from the bloodline and all of that. You know what I mean? But they don't. When you read in this Bible, like you see a lot of time, you see lineages. You see brothers, especially prominent brothers in the Bible. They state in their pedigree. You know what I mean? Prominent. See when the Most High gives a blessing to, or a blessing and the covenant. You know what I mean? Which the Christian church confuses the two. But whether the Most High gives a blessing or a covenant, he states that this is going to you and your sons and your sons and your sons, and it's going to be passed down to your generation. You know what I mean? Anytime when the Most High gave the covenant to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he said that this will be with your generation. You know what I mean? But because the Christian church agenda is to get God to love, or to try to convince you that God loves everybody, because everybody's money is good in the Christian church. You know what I mean? So they want everybody's money. So they can't say that they can't get white people money, they can't get African money, they can't get Asian money and all of that if they say that God, the Most High don't love you, and then pass around that collection plate. You know what I mean? They're gonna lose some money, so they got to convince you that God loves everybody. You know what I mean? The whole point of them teaching you that God loves everybody is so that they can get your money. You know what I mean? But when you actually read this Bible, and we actually see what's going on in this Bible, it talked about lineages, and it talked about separating the Bible is constantly talking about separating people, one nation of people from another nation of people. You know what I mean? I just wanted to point that out real quick. Uh, Verse 13, and God went up from them, like from him, in a place where he talked with him. 14, and Jacob set up a pillar in a place where he talked with him, even a pillar of stone, and he poured a drink offering thereon. He poured oil thereon. And you see, wine and oil has always been a part of our customs, always been a part of our services as a priest. I just want to point that out as well. And Jacob called the name of the place where God spake with him, Bethel. And when they joined, when they journeyed from Bethel, there was built a little way to come from Ephraim, and Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. And it came to pass when she was in hard labor that the midwife said unto her, Fear not, thou shalt have this son also. And it came to pass after her soul was departed, for she died, that she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. So that's gonna be the last verse for this week's Sabbath service. We'll pick up next week from Genesis 35th chapter and verse 19. With that, I majim, which means stand. Laya Shrala.
Yahaba Shimmy out shot Brakia. Sar Wapan Yahak Wadon, which means turn to face the east. With the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanel, Shema Shemayim, Kodash, Haya Shimka, Yahweh, Malakuka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Asha, Baratazak, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, the Thundernoah, Lakum, Call, Yawam, Wasalak, Wasalak now. Kawatwa, Kasalakwa, Kawati now, Wala Tabi now, by Santa One. Abal, Hawashana, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Halak. Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Watapa, Rafla, Avalami on Bun. In English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, that will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. The prayer for the power of the Hatak, the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba Shimi Awasha, Barak, Baba Kashad, the Thumbnail, Hakat, Lavrapa, Kampakala, Kalmandawa, Hakat, Latahar, Hamatazario, Hakat, Lahakmayam, Hamatim, Hakat, Avakawa, Hatsumala, Lagarshan, Ba Shimi Awasha, the Wadaman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power to get unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh, thank you, so be it. Prayer to bless Israel and the people. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh, Barak Noah, Wayasarala, Wahaba Yasapar, and Barak, Ba'ashem Yahweh, the water month. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, bless us in Israel, in the school, in the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Hahariya, Ma'ayan, Yawa'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shalbar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Samarka, Yahweh, Tadalka, Al-Ya, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamat, La'a, Yakka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yasamar, Bakara, Yasamar, Apapaka, Yahweh, Yasamar, Tada Appa, Babaaka, Maita, Wa'ai, Amalam. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. When I suffer thy foot to be moved, he that keepeth thee when I slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. It says, the sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83, the Hebrew. Alahayim, al Damiyalaka, al Takaras, for all Tasakwat, all Kayahanda, Awiyabnika, Yahama Yawun, Mabashinayika, Sha'awa, Ra'as, al Abaka, Yara Yumbu, the word, Wayata Yaita, the word, al Tagapawanika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magalia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasharala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa Aita, the word, Lab, Yukadwa, Alyuka, Barya, Yakaratwa, Halya, Adawav, Wa Yasama Alium, Wawa Abo, Wa Hagarium, Gabal, Wa Amawag, Wa Amalak, Palaka, Amishabi, Tazawar, Gamasawar, Nalawa, Iwav, Ayawa, Yawai, Labaya, Lawat, Salah, Asha Lahum, Hamadyan, Kasaya, Sawara, Hayabya, Banakal, Wayaswan, Yasamadwa, Baya Dara, Hayawa, Naman, Radaba, Shayathumwa, Yadayabawa, Hirab, Wakazaba, Wakazabada, Khan Sayakumwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Yarash, Lanawa, Dawa, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathumwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Raka, Kaash, Taba Ari Aro, Pat Labab, Talahat, Haryuk, Khan, Tawadatlu, Basa Arka, Wabasa Wapapka, Tabalaham, Bala'a, Panyaham, Palaki, Palawan, Wayabakwatwa, Shamka, Yahawah, the Batwa, Wa Yabahawa, Ajai, Wayakaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Daiwa, Taya, Atha, Samka, Yahawa, Labata, Ayawan, Alka Rakaza in English, Lashki. Give not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. But they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. They are the tabernacles of Edom, the Israelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Cabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. The Syrians also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, at the Sarah, at the Jabin, at the book of Consol, which perished at Endor, that became his dung for the earth. Make them nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb, yea, all the princes as Zabad, and as Gomunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of power and possession. O my power, make them like the wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth the wood, as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that they may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Prayer for the blessings of Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, wa Yahawashah, wa Bayaka Alam, wa Alahayim, Batazab Yah, Alawap Yahana, Alawapim, Hasawanyim, Hakwatazayanyim, Hatayayayim, Wahatwapim, Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh, the water of mud in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh, and Michael, and the angels, Commander General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh, thank you, so be it. Curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, listen to us now. Right now, send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter to thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, the Roman Catholic Church, Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, posse comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, the NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Space Force, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way and try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all, that is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, through the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh, thank you always, so be it. All the brothers, individual, Baja Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shil, Yahweh Barak Thumb, Yahweh Batah, Star, no turn to assistance, give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Individual, Baja Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat Thumb, Bajim Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Batah, this.